Hey guys, what's going on? This is Man and Flower Gaming coming at you today with a Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we are looking at the fusion of Razelvarg. The event did go live yesterday. We're starting to cover it today. We have started yesterday the Dragon Tournament Champion Training. Today we Summon Rush started and the Dungeon Divers event. We are going for this on the main account. How we end up pulling our shards on the free to play will dictate whether or not we're going to end up going for it or not. But most likely not. Just don't have the resources still built up on that account yet. And right now, we do have the summon rush going on, so we will be pulling shards today as well. And the dungeon divers started. And tomorrow we've got classic arena and artifact enhancement. And then the Ice Golem will bleed over into the Dungeon Divers event as well. Now for Razelvarg, we will need 4 of each rares here. The Margrave Greenhawk to turn into 4 Deljas, but we will get an extra Delja here in the Summon Rush, so if we do manage to get to this Delja, we will end up needing less for the fusion of Razelvarg. And here on HellHades.com, thanks to them and their back team data mining, they did rate him at a 4-star with great usage in Clan Boss, Hydra, Fire Knight, Dark Fae. Pretty much a well-rounded champion all over the board. And we go into our index here. He's a Skinwalker, which the Skinwalkers do need a little more love in my opinion, but that's up for opinion. Is he a Skinwalker? Yeah, he's gotta be a Skinwalker. Where's he at here? Did I go into Skinwalkers? Norog, oh, there he is. Razelvarg. He does look really cool for the Easter fusion event. The wolf on his shoulder. Great visuals as always done by Raid Shadow Legends. And we've already got 14 views. Looks like someone's already managed to pull him. Maybe. We'll see. We don't know yet. But here, let's look at his kit. His A1, he's going to attack one enemy 3 times. Each hit will fill this champion's turn meter by 5%. He is going to do his damage based on attack and speed. And as we go back to Hell Hades here, that his A1 is a godlike damage with his attack multiplied by his speed multiplied by 0.5 divided by 100. I don't understand much of that on how they calculate all that or how that's figured out. All I know is it's in the back code for their multipliers. But he does rate his A1 as godlike, his A2 and A3 as godlike in damage. His A2, he's going to attack all enemies and a 75% chance, booked up to 100% chance of placing a leech debuff for 2 turns. And it's going to heal himself by 10% of his max HP for each leech debuff placed on him. So pretty much on waves, he's going to be healing himself to full. And his A3, he's going to, again, attack all enemies, then place an increased speed buff and a 50% increased accuracy buff on all allies for 2 turns before attacking. His passive here, built for speed. Each increased speed buff placed by this champion increases this champion's speed by 5. So when you're running in the team of 4, he's going to be getting an extra, what is that, 5, 10, 20 speed every time he places an increased speed up to 100. So you can get this guy moving really fast. And he does bring increased speed in all battles by 20%. He does have good HP. Sorry about that. Great attack there at 1520. Great speed. Starts out with decent crit damage too. So he is a great champion that is going to be helpful for many accounts if you decide to go for him. I'm actually really excited to go for him and get him pulled because he's going to be very fun to play with overall. And don't have any total stats. So we're going to take a look here in the events. Nope, not the events. The tournaments here. And we started out with the champion training tournament. As you can see yesterday, I managed to get it all done. I'm currently in first place in my group, and I did all that in the tavern only. I didn't do any multi-battles in any place to get more points there. This was straight tavern leveling only. As you can see here, I've been pulling up champions to get them maxed out. Demitha, Supreme Elhain, Khazar Deepheart are going to be my next several 3, 5, 6 stars. Words, struggle with. But as you can see, I managed to pull or bring up a bunch of champions to 4s and 5s here. I've got 5 ready to go out the door to start upping these guys to 6-star. We've got 5 sitting here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sitting here. We've got these 5 actually in the Guardian Ring, leveling up to 40 to get to 5-star. And we are actually sitting on a bunch of 4-star food here to pump into these 4s to make them into 5 stars. Loads of 4 stars. I've been planning for the events. It's what I do during my downtime between fusions and events. Is I work on food and strictly food only. I mostly work on 1s, 2s, and 3s. And sometimes 4s. I'll always keep 4 stars running in my Guardian Ring at all times, just because that's at max level. It takes about a week to get these guys up to 40. So that is basically a free 6-star at that point, just working for me all week without having to constantly run battles and worry about energy. And now during the week, when I usually do it, when it comes to just the basic mission here, the daily one to pull, well, where was it at? Summon 3 champions. I just got walking in the mystery shards, summon 10. That's that, and then I will put a brew in, whichever brew I have the most of, minus Void. Void is really only saved for those 3s, 4s, and 5s, but we have the most green brews, so we'll just put a green brew in, 3 champions, take them to 10, and then I'll sit on that champion at level 10 until it's time to run these tournaments here, this champion training tournament or the champion training event. Which, looking back at this, the champion training event is going to take place on Thursday, April 20th. And I'm basically going to work on completing everything I can as fast as I can, and then moving back on to just leveling up food for this champion training event. But since this is going right now, we're just going to plug this here, and look at that, another 5 points. Now, when it comes to 2 stars, say I have a... Oops. Where is he at? Say this 2-star is at max level 10. So we will actually just take him up there. Use some extra points here. And we will upgrade this guy, one of these guys. And we'll need 1 more. Get him upgraded. So when we're at this point in the champion training and upgrading, so we have him at 20. Now we could just plug these 2 in here and just take him right up to next level 3-star. But what we were actually going to do is go over here and plug 1 brew in and get an extra 9 points for leveling. Same here. One brew, get 9 points. And then we will plug him in here and get another 15. So on top of that 15, we got another 18 points if we do the brew way and put them in. Now, from a 3-star standpoint, we will just plug in some brews here for a void. I'm sitting on enough potions. For the 3-star here, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go to upgrade champion level. I'll plug 2 brews in here, get another 28 points there, and I'll do that for 3 champions to rank them up to 3. So that was 28 points each there. Go to upgrade rank and then plug them in here and sacrifice. And that was an extra 84 points there on top of the points we got from taking this 3-star to 4-star. And that's how I run and prepare for my any champion training tournament or event, just to get all my food and completion done in a very efficient and timely manner, so I can then start focusing on the dragon tournament, which also came up at the same time. As you can see here, I've already got 1,876 points, and I just need another 400-ish points to get this next champion. Margrave Greenhawk, because we've already gotten one from the champion training, and we will get this one from the dungeon divers, and from the summon rush. We'll see how we're looking after pulls. Hopefully we can get this Dialga, but I'm not crossing my fingers for it. Now, as far as the dragon tournament goes, I've been running stage 1 of hard mode because it's one I'm comfortable with, and I don't have the speeds to fully reach up here to get it, and I'm just really looking for any of these with great mythic gear set drops. So we're going to take a look at my team here and go by recently used. And as you can see here, my team is built up with Bad Alcazar, Yumiko, Seer, Lydia, and Theodore the Savant. Now, if we look at here, we want recently used first. Let's pull these 3 guys out. If my teams are set up and my champions are good to go and geared, I let them sit in my master vault so I have plenty of space for shard pulls. That's what you see here. But as you can see here, we're running Bad Alcazar, who does bring the A1 AoE, attacks all enemies and heals this champion and all allies by 20% of the damage inflicted. He's going to then remove all debuffs from all allies and place 15% continuous heal buffs on all allies for 2 turns, and then place 2 poison debuffs on all enemies for 2 turns. And then all allies will inflict an additional 20% more damage to targets under poison debuffs. He also brings allied crit rate in all battles by 25%, and we also have him set up with level 1 Smite. We do have him running in a Frenzy set and an Immortal set. So every 10% he will gain 10% turn meter for every 5 HP lost. And then with the Immortal, he will gain 15%, or he has an extra 15% HP and heals by 3% every turn. And he's really set up for solo running on normal dragon mode, but we bring him in with extra buffs and the extra damage for Seer to do her abilities. But we've got him running at a 202, 98% crit rate, not worried about crit damage, and 256 accuracy to land his debuffs. Now he is our lead, so his aura does take effect of the 25% crit rate in all battles, so he does reach that 100. We've then got our Yumiko, mainly set up for our Dance of Time to decrease the cooldown of all ally skills by 3 turns and increase all enemy skill cooldowns by 3 turns just to get through the waves faster, working in tandem with Seer, Lydia, and Bad L for their buffs and Seer's buff stripping, as well as the Destiny's Mirror on the Dragon fight, who is where's that at here? Whenever an enemy tries to place debuffs on either this champion or an ally, 55% chance, booked up to 75% chance of pushing those debuffs back on an enemy, 30% chance instead against bosses. We've got Lydia coming in mainly for our decreased defense and weaken, and then our strength and an increase, 2 buffs we need for our Seer. And then a poison sensitivity, but not really needed because of Theodore the Savant here, who brings the 2 poison debuffs and poison sensitivity. As we all know, the dragon is weak to the poison debuffs. And as well as our Seer here for the Karma Burn to strip buffs from us and wreck the enemy team. Now, if we look at the team setup here, Yumiko is our fastest champion here, going at 272, who is basically just going to, I actually want to turn that off, and set it like that. Okay, so she's basically just going to open up with her A1 on round 1, leading into Lydia, coming in for the Siren's Wail. Theodore Savant is only opening up with his A1 on both rounds, and then standard setup, doing his poison sensitivity and poisons, and then his chemistry of activating those poisons. Seer, I have her clan banner turned off for round 3, but she's opening up with Karma Burn on each round, stripping the buffs from Siren's Wail, as well as Bad Alcazar's Malice, who is opening up with Malice on both rounds. So it's pretty much a well-rounded team to get this through this, so let's take a look at this team go. And boom, just like that. Nice 115. Best times 55 seconds with this team. It just really comes down to Sears resetting her Karma Burn with Cycle of Magic just to get that more enemy max HP damage out, but you know that's 5% chance. And nothing good here. But yeah, that's the team we're running here for the Dragons, as we work our way through the Summon Rush and Dungeon Divers. So, let's get on with our shard pulls here. We also do have a 10 times chance for Clindia, Stultus Dragonbane, Lady Kimmy, which I wouldn't mind a Lady Kimmy, and a Countess Lix, and I wouldn't mind a Countess Lix either. We've also got Tuhawk the Wanderer. I will likely pass on Tuhawk the Wanderer. We got the Stag Knight. We've got Rurella, which I would like to get Rurella. Right? Nah, maybe. Maybe. Questionable. And then Lady Annabelle. Now I would love Lady Annabelle for Bommel. Just because her passive of healing this champion by 50% of their max HP whenever an ally or enemy dies. And that does work on his bombs. And she can solo Bommel. And she does bring an attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit heals this champion by 3% of their max HP. Attacks all enemies. Has a 100% chance when booked of placing a leech debuff and a decreased speed debuff on the target for 2 turns, those with less than 50% turn meter. And Sanguine Exchange swaps HP with an allied target if this champion HP is equal to or higher than the target. After the swap, place a Revive on Death on this champion. If this champion's HP is lower than the target's, place a Revive on Death buff on this champion for 2 turns. She's kind of like her kit kind of reflects Mother Sybil in a way, with that Revive on Death increased speed thing happening. But for the Summon Rush here, we're going to pull, majority of our shards are going to be Ancient, not so much Sacred. There is a 2-time Sacred happening, I believe, this weekend. If we look back at hellhades.com, he does have things on a rotation on this. So next Friday, we do have a 2-time Sacred, so we're going to hopefully be saving our Sacreds for next week. So our main goal is just to get to Margrave Greenhawk, but we do have 70 Ancients, so let's start pulling. And we're mainly looking for gold for this account. Lady Annabelle would be the top pick right now, but any gold would be great. And we've got nothing so far, just a great sea of blue. Okay, who do we got? Umitego. First rare is an Umitego. What she bring? Ally crit in all battles by 15. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Additional 20% chance of inflicting a critical hit if this champion is under Veil or Perfect Veil. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit will ignore 20% of the target's defense. Additional 20% chance of inflicting a critical hit if this target is again under a Veil or Perfect Veil. And then places a Perfect Veil on this champion and a 30% increased speed buff on this champion for 2 turns. Then fills this champion turn meter by 40%. Whenever this champion's attacked, completely blocks 1 hit, decreasing the incoming damage to 0, then counterattacks with the default skill. When attacking a boss, decrease incoming damage by 50% instead before counterattacking. Interesting. That makes me kind of think a bit, but neither here nor there. She's probably on the lower end of the list of champions I'm going to focus on maxing out right now. Ooh, we walk in with 2 epics, 1 orc, and then 1 of the new Sylvan Watchers. We've got Yelagrina. I think she was the last fusion, or the fusion before that. What she bring here? Attacks 1 enemy 2 times, places an increased attack buff on her for 2 turns if the attack kills an enemy. Seems counterintuitive. Attacks all enemies, 100% chance of placing a decreased attack. And attacks 1 enemy, 100% chance of placing a block buffs and a block after skills debuff. And this attack is always critical. Interesting. But let's look at Enda Moonbeam. Oh yes, I remember Enda now. Attacks 1 enemy, 30% chance of placing a decreased defense for 2 turns. Attacks 3 times at random. Each hit has a 75% chance increased duration of random debuff on the target by 1 turn. Attacks all enemies. AoE Leech. Increase this champion's speed by 2 for each enemy under a leech. Oh, he could work well with Razelvog now that I look at it, just because he's increasing. Because Razelvog will place down the leech, AoE leech, and then boom, that's another 4 to 10 leech depending on the target. But he's still on the lower end of the spectrum for maxing out. because we want gold. A tur? No thank you. More like a turd, am I right? What's he bring here? A1, attack one enemy, 40% chance of placing a provoke, booked up to 50% chance. Could be good for the head of mischief or decay or whichever head you provoke. 50% chance. Then 2-time random attack. Each hit has a 50%, booked up to 75 to place a provoke. And then place a counterattack on this champion for 2 turns when hit with a crit. Immune to stun, freeze, and sleep debuffs. Only available when Kalia is on the same team. We'll pass. Let's keep it pulling. We're hoping for gold. Any gold. Not any gold, but, some gold. Rearguard Sergeant. Hope. What do we got for Rearguard? Attacks one enemy, 40% chance of placing a decreased defense. Attacks all enemies, 50, booked up to 75% chance of placing a decreased attack, then heals. And we got an ally protect and a 50% continuous heal on all allies except this champion. And HP increase force ally HP in all battles. Be fun to make a force clan boss team with her. What we got for Hope? Hope attacks one enemy, 30% chance of placing a block buffs. Increase the duration of all buffs on all allies by 1 turn. Place a shield buff equal to 25% of this champion's HP on all allies for 2 turns. Okay. Buff increase and a shield. Attacks all enemies, 50% chance of removing all buffs. Okay. Booked up to 75% chance. Okay. We'll pass on Hope. Pull some more here. More blues. Let's see where we're looking here on the summit. Oh, we're not looking good. Let's go grab that, but man, we barely might make it to Hargrave. I don't think, and we've got 10 left. Oh my goodness. I think I might end up just pulling 2 sacreds just to get what I need because I want to save my voids for a 2 times void if that's possible. And nothing here. Let's see where we end. We need another. Where are we at here? That 1471. 1 sacred, and I think we'll do 1 sacred and 1 void. And that should get us to where we need. So we'll do 1 sacred. And we've got a teddy bear. You know what? Lust is getting the best of me. And and a corpse collector. Gonna stop while I'm ahead. And I did promise 1 void, so we'll get that 1 void in there. You never know, could. Okay. The one champion I didn't want. We got Tuhok the Wanderer. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 30% chance of increasing the cooldown of one of the target skills by 1 turn at random. Increase the cooldown of all of the target skills by 1 turn instead of this champion has less than 50% HP when attacking on each hit. Attacks all enemies, 100% chance when booked of placing a decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. I'll also place an increased speed buff on this champion for 2 turns, and then heals this champion by 50% of the damage inflicted if they have less than 50% HP. Attacks one enemy, steals 50% of the target's current turn meter, has a 75% chance of placing a stun debuff for 2 turns, booked up to 100. Steals 100% of the target's turn meter if this champion has less than 50% HP. And decrease damage taken by this champion by 20% when their HP drops below 60%. Tuhok will pass. But that's where we're at, and that got us right where we needed to be. Now, a lot of this might end up be supplemented with more. What do we need? Another 1,000 or so for the XP barrel. So it might end up supplementing that with mystery shards here, because I still need to fill up for more food. But I won't make you watch me pull 300 or 400 mystery shards, because that's pedantic. We're actually going to go ahead and switch on over to the free-to-play account, and I will see you guys in just a moment. Alright guys, here we are back on the free-to-play account here. Just check the market. Ooh, more mystery. Always grab mystery shards when I can. And as far as the tournaments go, for the free-to-play count, we have the champion training going. Still need a little more work here to get to this first guy. And we haven't even started the dragon tournament, and I doubt we'll be able to even get anywhere near Margrave Greenhawk for the free-to-play just based on shards alone, because I pulled 70 on the main account plus 2 sacreds and barely got to it. So, but we do need more better champions. Politically correct way to say it. If we do need more better champions, we do got Skathix, War Maiden, Galek, Lorne. I did 6-star a Painkeeper. But other than that, we still need more. You know, we do got a Sandlash Survivor. I mean, we're looking okay, but we need something a little better here. So we're going to give it a go here. Let's give it the first 10. Ooh, what do we got? Hexia. Ooh, Ruella for this account. Ooh, and a Fang Cleric. What do we got here? Fang Cleric, increase ally speed in all battles by 15%. Attacks one enemy, 75% chance of transferring one random debuff from this champion to a target. Heals an ally by 20% of this champion's max HP. Also fills the target's turn meter by 30% if they are fully healed by this skill. Places a veil buff on this target for 1 turn if they are not fully healed by this skill. And then we've got Revive on Death. No, Fang Cleric, we will pass. We will pass on the Fang Cleric. We will end up most likely feeding him to level up someone else. Let's look at Hexia. We got attack and faction crypts by 27%. We got an A1, attack one enemy, 40% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense for 2 turns. This chance increases by 20% for each debuff placed on this champion. Attacks one enemy, grants an extra turn, places a 50% increased attack buff on this champion for 2 turns if this attack kills an enemy. Damage increases by 7.5% for each debuff on this champion, stacks up to 30%. Problem is getting debuffs on this champion. And then we got here an A1, A3 attacks one enemy, heals this champion by 50% of the damage inflicted. The heal increases by 10% for each debuff on this champion, and then places a 30% increased speed buff on this champion for 2 turns. Again, predicated on debuffs, but again, it's hard just getting debuffs on one champion. And now let's look at Ruella here. We got accuracy in dungeons by 40. Fill the turn meter of all allies by 20%, and then place an 30% increased crit rate buff on all allies for 2 turns, book down to a 3 turn. Then we've got attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 50% chance of placing a 60% decrease debuff, booked up to 70%, a 25% weaken debuff, and a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. Great for Fire Knight, probably would be great for Clan Boss, to be honest. Bring in the decreased defense, weaken, and speed on a 4 turn. Interesting. 4 turn and a 3 turn. And then attacks one enemy 3 times. Each crit has an 80% chance of stealing 5% of the target's turn meter. Looks like a great Fire Knight champion for Ruella. Wish I could have got Ruella on my other account. Now, oh well. We are going to be pulling all the shards on the free-to-play. To heck with the 2 times this weekend. It's the year of the YOLO for the free-to-play. Hexweaver, pass. What do we got here? Abyssal. Team heal, increased defense, weekend and weak version of increased defense and attack, AoE. Okay. What do we got now? We've got Necro Hunter. Will pass, attack one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 50% chance of placing a decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. Attacks one enemy, then attacks all enemies 1 time if the attack is critical. And then attacks one enemy, places perfect veil on the champion for 2 turns if the attack is critical. And then crit rate in all battles by 19. We'll pass again. And the final one here for Ancients is Slither Brute. Let's move on to Voids here. A Justiciar. It's amazing. Means I can continue planning for the... What is that? If we look here, where's it at here? Champion Chase Tournament. And we'll get into that here in just a minute on the Champion Chase. But let's keep pulling shards here. Hollow. Come on, give us a purple. Malbranch. We will pass on the Malbranch. Come on, purple. Nah. Another Justiciar. Interesting. Now that's very interesting. Alright, now let's get this one sacred. Come on, someone good. Ooh, we got gold. Who we got? No! We got an Elva Autumnborn for the free-to-play account, folks. Things are getting wild now. Elva Autumnborn. What do we got here? We got increased ally speed in all battles by 19%. Golden out the door. We are happy with that. Next, we've got an attack. One enemy places a 15% continuous heal buff for 2 turns on the ally with the lowest HP. Beautiful. We are taking her right into Clan Boss. She is the next 6-star hands down on this account. We are no longer going for this fusion. It is strictly 6-starring Elva Autumnborn. Her A2, Nature's Path, has a 75% chance of removing all debuffs from all allies, then place a block debuff and a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. That's amazing. That is amazing. Amazing champion right now. Then we've got a single target revive with 40% HP and 50% turn meter, then places an increased defense and a 50% increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. Booked down to a 3 turn. It's amazing. And then we are going to heal each ally by 10% of their max HP at the start of their turn. Places a perfect veil on this. Perfect veil for 1 turn on the ally with the lowest HP at the end of this champion's turn. This is going to be an amazing champion. Let's go ahead and look at her fully here in the Sylvan Watchers. So, fully 6-starred. She does have 110 base speed. She's got great HP, decent defense. Her damage is going to be based on attack, so really won't be building her for damage. Mostly just building her fast and quick. Fast and tanky to survive hits. That's amazing pull for the day. Guys, couldn't be more happier with this final pull on the free-to-play count. Let's see where we're at here. Yep, all shards. I didn't even get to the first one. But, like I said, we're no longer going for the rabbit. We've got Elva Autumnborn, and we are going to start pushing this account hard. And grab that really fast. And as I was saying, back on here, we do have this current fusion, but you can also plan ahead for the Champion Chase tournament here, which takes place on Friday, April 21st. Now, the thing that sets the Champion Chase tournament and the Summon Rush apart is Summon Rush is predicated on shards, and shards only. 500 for sacreds, 120 for voids, 20 for ancients, and 1 for mystery. Now, when it comes to the champion chase, it is by you get points by any means of pulling champions. Whether that be coming to the market and picking up a champion here. Obviously, you're not going to find rares in here, but there's points to be had there. You will obviously get points from pulling mystery shards, ancient shards, void shards, and sacred shards. You also get points for past fragments if you have any saved up, so pulling a Pythion or Yakarl, Supreme Elhain, Drexstar will get you even more points on top of that from pulling from here, because it's all predicated on any means necessary. You can also get points straight from the campaigns. So if you're running 12-3 or just straight out 12 and you get any one of these, it'll all count towards the Champion Chase tournament. As well as going into here, fusions also count. So I've actually been planning for the Champion Chase tournament mostly on this account for mission wise, because I'm at the point where I need to fuse Relic Keeper to get me 2 books, and then I'll be on the path to Arbiter. So if you look at the fusions of Relic Keeper, you can see here I've got 2 Sorceress, 2 Templars, 3 Executioners, and now 3 Justice CRs, but I'm ready to fuse a Justice CR. So I just need to get... Nope, they're all good there. Which means I need to go farm a Templar and a Sorceress. But guys, that's going to be it for this day. We're going to end with good old Elva Autumnborn on this account, and hopefully the next time we check in, things will be looking fantastic for this account. Wait, where's she getting these extra stats from? Oh yeah, never mind. Affinity bonuses. I'm slow. But next time we check in, hopefully she'll be 6-star and pushing this account way farther than it needs to go right now. And we'll catch you all later. Take care.
Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit, I look